name is Patricia Winkler, and this is my audience member. Now we'll be talking about birth control as my persuasive speech. Throughout history, we have discriminated against people and how they manage their lives. This is what I will be talking about today, the over-exaggerated desire to make birth control methods illegal and how it can affect you and your families. It is very important to keep in mind that choice is something we pride ourselves in the United States. This country was built and is known around the world as a place you can go work hard and you will succeed. This goes too with the ability to choose to govern your own life and body. Even then, the woman's choice to use birth control has been highly controversial. First, I will talk about some methods of birth control. Then I will discuss how some side effects that are caused by these methods can be prevented from happening. Lastly, I will talk to you about why it is important to favor the woman's choice to govern what happens to her own body and allow her to choose if and when she wants to start a family. First, there is a problem today that people believe they can govern how others' lives should be run. These people believe that birth control is another word for baby killing, as they put it, when in fact birth control is a prevention of pregnancy, not a termination of it. Non-hormonal methods of birth control are those in which do not introduce hormones as a way of preventing pregnancy. On the Planned Parenthood website, they list abstinence, cervical cap, condoms, diaphragm, female condom, breastfeeding, and withdrawal as methods of birth control without the use of hormones. Although these methods vary in effectiveness, hormonal methods tend to be more effective. Hormonal methods also vary. According to womenshealth.gov, it defines hormonal methods as a way to prevent pregnancy by interfering with ovulation, fertilization, and/or implantation. These methods of introducing these hormones into the body include oral contraceptives, also known as the pill, the patch, injection, vaginal ring, an implantable rod, and intrauterine devices. Permanent birth control methods are also available. These include sterilization implant, which is non-surgical, and a surgical sterilization. So now that we know that there are many different methods of birth control, we can now look into some issues that can arise from using some of them. Second, issues with using birth control do arise, but a lot of these issues can be prevented by making healthy life choices or by just simply using a different method. When using non-hormonal methods, barrier methods like condoms, cervical caps, it is important to keep in mind many things such as things you're allergic to as well as sensitivity. Some people are allergic to latex, for example, and others develop allergic reactions to the cervical cap. It is important to talk to your doctor to discuss these options, as they will be able to tell you what can and will work for you as long as you use it correctly. Hormonal methods can be a bit more tricky, as you're literally adding hormones to your body that it already makes, but in bigger quantities so you don't get pregnant. It is especially important to speak to your doctor, as it is crucial they take yours and your family history into account. For all hormonal methods, smoking can increase the risk of serious side effects such as blood clots, according to familydoctor.org. Being overweight can reduce the effectiveness of hormonal birth control, so this is another factor we can control ourselves. Women may also get irregular bleeding, periods are lighter or heavier, or some women may just not get a period at all when you have the implant in or you are taking the shot. With the IUD, there's a risk of ectopic pregnancy as well as a risk of developing pelvic inflammatory disease, although this is a pretty low chance of it. HealthyWomen.org mentions some things that one must ask themselves when making the decision to elect a permanent method of birth control. One must ask themselves if they're really ready to give up the complete ability to get pregnant again. This is probably the most important risk that one must take into account, as it will affect the rest of your life. According to the FDA, other risks include extreme fatigue, depression, and weight gain. Understanding the side effects of certain methods of birth control and knowing that we are in control of some of them can help us better decide what method is better for us. It is important to support a woman's decision to do as she wishes with her own body regarding birth control. A woman's body is her own, as she and her significant other should have the freedom to decide if and when they would like to start a family or grow the one they have now. It is a natural right, as other natural rights like the right to marry the one you love or to decide what you want to do with the rest of your life. Americans brag about the freedoms we have, yet some of us feel the need to restrict others' freedoms to choose for ourselves. Some religious groups like Westboro Baptist Church aim at shutting down places like Planned Parenthood because they believe baby killing is wrong. And although baby killing is wrong, the definition of baby is often misinterpreted into where they think that a baby forms at the moment of conception and henceforth should be considered murder of a child. Being aware of these groups that want to take rights away and educating yourself about them too is important in understanding the bigger picture of why it is important to support a woman's decision to decide for herself. Too many people out there seem to misunderstand why birth control is important, and part of it may be because of lack of education on the subject. Some of us in this room, like myself, have used some of these methods and can vouch for its importance. Most of us have plans for our future that do not include a child right away. Some of us may need a few more years, may never want a child, or may be in the planning process right now. To take this right away from us would be against the foundations of why this country was founded. The right to be happy, the ability to express ourselves, the privacy all come into play when talking about the right to choose how to govern our lives. I ask that each of you individually open up and talk about birth control and if and when you want to have children. This is your right as well as your neighbors. When this topic comes up in conversation with your friends and family, talk about it, stand up for your rights, and be proactive in your community by being yourself. Never be ashamed of who you are and where you came from. Thank you.